I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. In the world we live in, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the avalanche of bad news that seems to affirm that everything around us is evil. Hate speech, atrocious crimes, violence depicted in entertainment films have become something that seems normal. It seems that darkness is gaining ground in our societies. When we ask if evil has become popular, we're not saying that the majority of people have become evil. The concern is that some behaviors, attitudes, and narratives that were previously unaccepted or marginal seem to have found a broader niche and are now readily accepted in the public sphere. The volume of fake news and misinformation spreads at lightning speed, attempting to undermine trust and distort reality. Anonymity and the digital environment seems to unleash the worst human impulses, transforming virtual spaces into breeding grounds for bullying, cruelty, intolerance, and the demonization of others, rendering empathy and mutual understanding scarce virtues. Popular culture runs the risk of normalizing and sometimes glorifying violence, revenge, and selfishness. When villains are justified in their actions and become charismatic characters, we must pause to consider what message are we sending to our children and young people. However, the fact that evil is highly visible may be a sign that society is aware of it. The cries of outrage at injustice, the rise of social activism in support of human rights, and the search for truth are proof that the light continues to shine. Perhaps evil previously was confined to a small circle because communications didn't have the reach and speed they have today in the digital age. The speed of current information makes the darkness more visible, and although painful, it forces us to confront these realities and ask ourselves what kind of society we want to build. That God allows evil and diabolical activity is a great mystery, but as St. Paul says in chapter 8 in Romans, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. The popularization of evil is not inevitable, but a symptom that calls us to individual and collective action. Kindness, compassion, and justice don't need to be popular to be powerful, but they do need to be active, conscious, and courageously defended. The fight against the popularization of evil lies in the daily decision of each one of us to choose understanding over indifference, to choose truth over lies, and to choose hope over cynicism. Keep in mind that evil, the devil, cannot take over anyone's free will unless the person allows it. Make the best decision of all, which is to live according to the teachings of Jesus Christ, pray the rosary, receive Holy Communion, go to Mass, fast and praise, and you will live in the light with much peace. Why? Because with God, we always win.